What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Laura Branigan, and back with more from the Best of Branigan compilation, one of 3 CDs big friend of the channel Scott has sent to me, and which we've only just started to go through. I also wanted to give a shout out to a friend of the channel who commented on the last Branigan reaction that they were looking forward to one next Friday. Now, I don't remember saying that specifically at any point, but I'm willing to get on board. The only thing I would say is let's expand it to Branigan Weekends. Let's make it whether it's Friday morning, Saturday morning, or Sunday morning. I'll make sure to get a Branigan reaction in on the weekends from now on. So it gives me a bit more flexibility in that regard. But I do like the idea because in some other deep dives, because now it's become a thing for them to be on Monday or Wednesday or Friday, I do think of them as I approach that the day before. So bottom line, I'm willing to make Branigan Weekends a thing. So from now on, look forward to that. But we are up to the tune, Is There Anybody Here But Me? It's an interesting question. On the surface of it, it suggests loneliness, perhaps, or at least that's the emotional sentiment that comes across. Also a lack of clarity, but you know, it could be less about an actual physical presence and more the idea that you know, there's people around, but maybe you're not genuinely connecting with them. So it's like, is there anyone here but me? Am I the only person who feels or wants to feel on this certain level of depth? Either way, it's an interesting query, and I feel as much emotional content coming through it as I do you know, visual or conceptual. So let's find out what it actually is. This is Laura Branigan, and you know, fair to say there's been a couple tunes already that were covers, so there may be more covers along the way, but as I scan through the track titles, you know, I'm not aware of that. So bottom line, let's listen to it. This is Laura Branigan. The tune is There Anybody Here But Me? And it's included on the Best of Branigan compilation. thumbs up of approval. Seriously, really cool tune. And it's interesting, you know, a couple people mentioned that sometimes in her tunes, her voice is so strong, it can even like overwhelm like other parts of the track. I definitely don't think that was the case here. Like, she did get a bit more forceful. And again, I'm there for that. I love, you know, female singers that can go big and get raspy and so on. But this one, it definitely seemed to like feel more of a lower key emotional delivery, even if, like I said, she did get a bit more intense in one moment in the latter third or so. But yeah, it's interesting. Again, I think the main message is that the relationship is now a pale shadow of itself, and again, from the sound of their song, which it just doesn't hit right anymore, and the feel of their touch, which, you know, there's something missing, it's something plastic or superficial about it, and just everything seems withered and, you know, winnowed out. But again, that line that, like, you know, it's getting harder to fake it, but we still try. It's interesting, right? Like, whether it's because you're worried about, oh, like, if this chapter of my life ends, that means I have to go start some other chapter, and I, you know, that's the unknown future. That's not something that, you know, I'm comfortable with and I'm familiar with, and maybe it's not working great, but, you know, it could be a hesitance to like break it off. But it also suggests that maybe on some level it's like, I want what I know we can have, or at least used to have, and I wish that we, you know, could find that dynamic. So the fact that it's at least at the point of the song, not fully completely severed and over yet, I find, you know, interesting. It's, you know, there's like films that I'm thinking of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where it's like, it, you know, there's so many things wrong with the relationship, but like, you know, by the end of the movie, spoiler alert, it's been out for like, what, 20 years now, you see that maybe, like, in any configuration of time and space, they're going to find their way together, because sometimes people and personalities just, they find their way together. So even, you know, problems and all. So it feels like maybe it's like that. Maybe it's, you know, they're in this really bad way right now, but they can't quite bring themselves to, you know, not be interested in the other person on some level. So again, I may be like overemphasizing that aspect, and it may really just be about, you know, this has become a ghost of what we used to have. But like I said, I'm interested by the fact that you say, you know, it's getting harder to fake, but here we are, we're still dining, we're still out to dinner, we're still sleeping in the same bed, and, you know, saying, you know, good night, honey, and so on. So yeah, I found that to be an interesting like twist of the themes. Nevertheless, I'll stop talking. Do let me know what you think. Sonically, again, anything with a saxophone. And, you know, sometimes I wonder, like, is it a synth sax or is it like a true sax? I'm not sure. I would guess maybe true sax, but I don't know that for sure. Either way, I love the cold, sort of jazzy sonics, the nighttime feel of the tune overall, which it has this, you know, you're sitting looking at an empty shot glass as it rains outside, because, you know, all these feelings about the emotion are just running through your head, and you're mulling, you know, what can I do to get through to them? It's, you know, are you even here? Like, I'm talking to you, you're in the room, but it's not what it used to be. It's like, I feel like I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to the wall, I think actually the line was. So yeah, like really engaged by the lyrics in this one, which, you know, again, some of the songs that have like hit me the most heavily do relate to complicated emotions, because in my life, relationships, that's what they've been. They've been great, but they've been painful and stressful, and, you know, even in a couple cases where I ended a relationship, I still would feel sad and like, oh, did I make the wrong decision? And it's just this you know, morass of complicated feelings. So yeah, songs that sort of get to that do hit home to me, and I tend to, you know, really key in on them. So shout out to Laura, and again, I really enjoyed the way her performance seemed to fit the sonics of the overall tune. So let me know what you think, and again, we'll get on the Laura or Branigan Weekends schedule. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'll see you next time. Peace.